Welcome back to our channel, coin enthusiasts. Today we're diving into a fascinating piece of U.S. coinage, the 1977 half-quarter dollar coin. This coin may sound unusual, but it carries a unique place in American coin history. Let's uncover its story. First, let's clarify what we mean by a half-quarter dollar. This isn't an official U.S. mint denomination, but a nickname collectors and enthusiasts sometimes use for the 12.5-cent value concept. However, the focus today is the 1977 Washington quarter dollar, the regular 25-cent coin that has a rich circulation history. The 1977 Washington quarter features the classic design by John Flanagan, introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. The obverse shows Washington's profile, while the reverse displays the iconic eagle with outstretched wings. This design was a staple of U.S. currency for decades before the state quarters program began in 1999. In 1977, the U.S. Mint produced quarters in large quantities, reflecting the growing economy and the coin's everyday use. Quarters from this era were struck in two primary locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small D on the obverse. Together, these numbers highlight the extensive circulation of the 1977 quarter. It was widely used in vending machines, toll booths, and everyday transactions, a true workhorse of American currency. By 1977, quarters were no longer made of silver. Instead, they consisted of a copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel. This change had occurred in 1965 due to rising silver prices. While these clad coins lacked the precious metal appeal of earlier quarters, they remained durable and practical for circulation. Let's talk value. In circulated condition, most 1977 quarters are worth face value, because they're so common. Uncirculated examples, or those with high grades from coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch higher prices. Look for coins with sharp details, minimal wear, and no scratches to spot valuable examples. Here's a fun fact. The 1977 quarter is part of the bicentennial decade, a time when the U.S. celebrated 200 years of independence. While it doesn't feature the special bicentennial design of 1976, it's still a reminder of the patriotic fervor of the era. Whether you're a collector or just someone curious about coin history, the 1977 quarter is a fantastic piece to study. Its design, history, and sheer utility make it a fascinating part of America's numismatic story. What's your favorite coin from the 1970s? Let us know in the comments. The Washington quarter, introduced in 1932, replaced a standing Liberty quarter to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, it features a profile of Washington on the obverse and a bald eagle on the reverse. This design remained largely unchanged until the advent of the state quarters program in 1999. By the mid-1970s, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins annually to meet the needs of an expanding economy. The Washington quarter was a cornerstone of American currency, used extensively in commerce for vending machines, parking meters, and everyday transactions. These high mintage figures reflect the coin's critical role in a thriving post-Vietnam War economy and a period of significant inflation in the U.S. in 1965. Due to rising silver quarters, the U.S. Mint transitioned from 90% silver quarters to a clad composition of copper and nickel. This change ensured affordability and durability. The 1977 quarter continued this composition. The design was classic and unchanged from earlier Washington quarters, representing continuity in American coinage. The 1977 quarter was minted during a period of high demand for coins. It was ubiquitous in daily life, playing a vital role in commercial activities. These coins were heavily circulated, and their utilization was heavy, less likely to be preserved in mint condition by the average person. As a result, most surviving examples show significant wear. The coin's high production numbers ensured it was not rare or difficult to find, even decades later. While the 1977 quarter doesn't have unique design features or low mintage numbers, it holds significance for collectors. It represents a time before the artistic changes brought by the state quarters in 1999. The quarter is a relic of the late 1970s economy, a time of inflation, economic shifts, and cultural change. Activities often seek higher-grade specimens, those in uncirculated or mint condition, as most of these coins were heavily used. I-grade examples with no scratches or wear fetch higher. The Washington quarter is a staple for new collectors due to its long history and affordability. The 1977 edition is often part of full-date collections. Strength and pride. While the design is similar to earlier years, the lack of a mint mark on 1965 quarters is a notable detail. This was done intentionally to discourage collectors from hoarding newly minted coins during the transition to the copper-nickel alloy. So the big question, what's the value of a 1965 quarter today? Since these coins contain no silver, their intrinsic metal value is tied to the copper and nickel content. However, their actual value as a collectible depends on factors like condition, rarity, and historical significance. In circulated condition, most 1965 quarters are worth just their face value, 25 cents. But if you find one in uncirculated condition, or with a high-grade certification, it could be worth around $2 to $8. Coins graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC might fetch even more. From collectors, now here's where things get exciting. Some 1965 quarters have gained notoriety for errors and unusual varieties. For example, a few transitional errors exist. These are 1965 quarters accidentally struck on 90% silver planchets left over from 1964. If you ever come across one of these, it could be worth thousands of dollars. One such error sold at auction for over $7,000. If you quarter, you can test it with a magnet or check its weight. A silver quarter weighs about 6.25 grams compared to the standard copper-nickel version's 5.67 grams. The 1965 quarter may not be made of silver, but its story and historical significance make it a fascinating addition to any collection. If you're hunting for valuable coins, always check your change. You never know what rare gem might be hiding in plain sight. And dollars were primarily made of 90% silver and 10% copper. These silver coins had intrinsic value tied to the metal content, which became a problem as the value of silver began to rise in the 1960s. The 1965 Washington quarter is a landmarked coin in U.S. numismatic history. Its production marked the beginning of a significant shift in American coinage brought about by changing economic realities and a nationwide coin shortage. Before 1964, the price of silver had increased to the point where the metal value in many coins exceeded their face value. This led to widespread hoarding of silver coins by the public, resulting in a severe coin shortage. During the early 1960s, the Treasury. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the USA 1/2 half-quarter dollar coin from 1984. Wait, a 1/2 quarter dollar? Does that even exist? Let's explore. You may be wondering, what exactly is a 1/2 half-quarter dollar coin? Well, the name sounds intriguing. The reality is, there's no official U.S. mint coin called a 1/2 quarter dollar. This title is often a mix-up or a playful term for quarters, especially among collectors. For today's video, we're focusing on the 1984 Washington quarter, which has been nicknamed the 1/2 half-quarter dollar by some in the community due to its value comparison with smaller denominations. The Washington quarter from 1984 is a part of the standard quarter dollar series, featuring George Washington's portrait on the obverse. This iconic design was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of the first U.S. president. On the reverse, we see the majestic bald eagle, a symbol of strength and freedom. This design remained until 1998, when it was replaced by the state quarters program. In 1984, the U.S. Mint produced Washington quarters in massive numbers to meet public demand for circulating coins. These quarters were struck at 3 facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, marked by the absence of a mint mark, produced over 676 million coins. The Denver Mint, with the D mint mark, struck about 546 million coins, and the San Francisco Mint, which focused on proof coins for collectors, produced about 3.2 million pieces. These coins were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, which was introduced in 1965 after the U.S. moved away from silver coins. Their durability and affordability made them perfect for circulation. The 1980s was a vibrant decade in the U.S. history. People relied heavily on physical coins for everyday transactions: vending machines, parking meters, and payphones. The 1984 Washington quarter was an essential part of daily life, and millions passed through hands in gas stations, grocery stores, and local diners. Oh, what about the value of these 1984 quarters today? In circulated condition, most 1984 Washington quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated or proof versions can fetch a higher price. A Philadelphia or Denver Mint coin in mint state, MS-65 or higher, is valued between $5 and $20, depending on its condition. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint can be worth $3 to $10. Rare errors, such as off-center strikes or doubled. Washington quarters were struck in 90% silver. Rising silver prices prompted the U.S. Mint to switch to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965. This made the quarters more affordable for mass production and ensured their availability for circulation until 1984, when the quarter elaborated into the 1984 management bearing factor. Here's a breakdown of its historical significance. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse remained largely unchanged from its original 1932 design, except for minor adjustments to improve striking quality. The date 1984 is inscribed below Washington's portrait, and the word Liberty is prominently displayed above, depicting the alphabet and the design symbolizing strength and readiness. Focused exclusively on proof coins, producing 3, 0, 6, 5, 1, 1, 0 quarters with a mirror-like finish for collector-made from a copper-nickel-clad composition with an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. The clad design was introduced in 1965 to replace the more valuable silver composition, ensuring the coin's longevity in circulation. The 1984 quarter was a workhorse of the U.S. economy. It was commonly used in vending machines, parking meters, payphones, and public transportation. During the mid-1980s, quarters were vital for many small-scale transactions, making them one of the most frequently circulated denominations. The United States was undergoing technological advancements, economic growth, and cultural shifts during the 1980s. Coins like the Washington quarter were indispensable in the pre-digital payment era. Their durability and high mintage numbers ensured a steady supply for the public. Despite its age, the 1984 quarter can still be found in circulation today due to the durable copper-nickel composition. Many remain in excellent condition, a testament to the coin's quality and widespread use. The 1984 Washington quarter is not particularly rare, but high-grade, uncirculated coins and proof versions hold value for collectors. Error coins, such as off-center strikes or double dies, are especially sought after and can fetch higher prices. The Washington quarter design continued until 1998, after which the U.S. Mint launched the State Quarters program in 1999. This program introduced new designs and sparked a surge in coin collecting, represents a snapshot of American history during a transformative period. It bridges the gap between the classical, the 1983 USA half-quarter dollar. Is it rare? What's its history? And most importantly, what's its circulated value today? Let's find out. First off, let's clarify the term half-quarter dollar. This isn't an official denomination. It's a playful nickname often used by collectors when talking about the regular 25-cent quarter dollar coins from 1983. However, the 1983 quarter dollar has its own special story that makes it a notable year for collectors. In 1983, the United States Mint produced no mint sets for public sale. This makes high-quality examples of 1983 quarters, particularly uncirculated ones, harder to find. As a result, even circulated quarters from this year have gained a premium value among collectors. But what exactly does this mean for your collection? Let's take a closer look at the design. Like most quarters of the era, the 1983 quarter dollar features the profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The year 1983 is inscribed beneath his profile. The iconic eagle, clutching arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness, with the words United States of America and quarter dollar encircling it. This design has been a staple since 1932, but in 1983, subtle differences in the quality quarters from many other years. This is due to collector demand, particularly for building year sets of quarters. As of now, the circulated value of a 1983 quarter dollar ranges from 25 cents to about $1.50, depending on its condition. Coins with significant wear will likely be closer to face value, while those in better shape might fetch a small premium. For truly uncirculated examples, the value can rise to $10 or more. Both varieties are sought after, but neither is particularly rare. However, finding a well-preserved example is always a challenge. So, what should you look for when evaluating a circulated 1983 quarter dollar? Here are some quick tips. Look for coins with minimal scratches or wear. The less worn the details on Washington's face or the eagle, the better. Even in circulated coins, traces of the original mint luster can add value. Keep an eye out for minting errors, like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These can significantly increase a coin's value. If you spot any of these features, it's worth consulting a professional appraiser or grading service. Before we wrap up, here are some fun facts about 1983 quarters. No mint sets were issued in 1983, as we mentioned earlier. This was part of a production of official mint sets for public sale in 1982 and 1983. This was largely a cost-cutting measure to reduce expenses during a time when the mint was streamlining operations. As a result, collectors couldn't easily obtain uncirculated coins directly from the mint for these years. The demand for quarters remained high, as they were essential for everyday transactions, vending machines, and payphones, as well as pay-grade limits for bosses. Since 2003, the mint produced millions of 1983 quarters to meet this demand, though uncirculated examples were not widely preserved. The design of the 1983 quarter dollar adhered to the same standards set in 1965, when the U.S. switched from silver coins to 67-cent coins. The design featured George Washington, created by John Flanagan, first introduced in 1932 to celebrate Washington's 200th birthday, the eagle with outstretched wings symbolizing strength and freedom, a design staple for quarters from 1932 to 1998. Because there were no collector-operated mint sets, many 1983 quarters entered circulation immediately, often enduring wear and tear. Over time, this created a scarcity of well-preserved examples, coins in uncirculated or mint-state conditions. Appealing to numismatists, these occur when a die becomes damaged, resulting in raised lines or patterns on the coin. Caused by misaligned dies, these coins display partial designs and are considered valuable by collectors. While rare for this year, any noticeable doubling on the letters or design elements significantly increases a coin's value. Sold by everyone from the life-saving machines to the 1980s, quarters were ubiquitous in daily life, used in vending machines, laundromats, arcades, and payphones. The 1983 quarter represents a time before digital transactions became dominant, making physical coins an integral part of American culture and economy. The 1983 USA quarter dollar is a fascinating piece of American history. It reflects an era of economic transition, practical minting decisions, and everyday life in the United States. While millions of these coins were minted, their historical context, coupled with the absence of collector sets, makes them a special part of numismatic history. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin stories and insights, and let us know in the comments what's your favorite coin from the 1980s. See you in the next video.